Hello, today we're going to look at the xylem vascular tissue of plants and talk about its connection to cohesion-tension theory. Xylem is the vessel element which transports water and minerals throughout the plants. This begins usually down at the roots, and it goes throughout the body of the plant all the way up to the leaves. Within this cross-section of a plant, we can see the vascular bundle of the plant circled here in red. The outer portion is the phloem, which transports nutrients and sugars throughout the plant. The inner portion shows the tracheids and the vessel elements where water and other nutrients can flow up from the roots to the leaves. The roots are the primary area of the plant which take up water and other minerals from the soil or surrounding substrate. Here, root hairs play a critical role in absorbing water and minerals through osmosis. Much like how cleaning up a spill is easier with a larger paper towel or sponge, the root hairs also increase the amount of water and minerals the plant can absorb. The stage of root development will determine which transport route water and minerals are able to take when they are absorbed by the plant. There are three pathways which water can take when it is absorbed by the roots and the root hairs. The first pathway we'll talk about is apoplastic transport, and we can see that here in the blue line. With this type of transport pathway, water and minerals travel between cell walls, but they are unable to pass through the protoplast of the cell. Apoplastic transport is not possible when roots have developed an exodermis or when water is crossing the endodermis. Following the gray line to the left, we can see the second type of transport, known as the symplastic pathway. This is where water is absorbed through the epidermis of the roots. Here it can pass easily through the plasmodesmata of the cell from one protoplast to the next. The transcellular pathway is the third pathway which water can take into the plant. We can follow this path in red and see that it takes a similar cell-to-cell pathway that we saw in symplastic transport. Water is able to move across the plasma membranes into the cell and then back out of the cell and on to the next. Water can also pass through the tonoplast and across the vacuole of the cell as it continues to travel through the plant. It may not seem so far-fetched to imagine water being able to travel up from the roots to the leaves of a small plant, but a larger plant or a tree might seem less likely. The cohesion-tension theory explains how water is able to move from the roots up to the top of plants. In many ways, it works much like a straw in a cup, but with the tension and pull of molecules. In the plant, the straw is the xylem tissues made up of vessel elements and tracheids. Transpiration, or the gas exchange of carbon dioxide and water vapor through plant pores, creates a concentration gradient which draws water up through the plant. Leaves, which have released their water vapor, now draw water from the surrounding cells. This continues down the cells into the leaves until the tension reaches the xylem veins and through the xylem column within the plant and down into the roots. The more a plant is wilted and the less water within the leaves, the greater the tension and pull through the water molecules. Extremely tall plants, such as redwood trees, exert larger amounts of tension on the water column within the xylem of the plant. How much water the roots need to absorb from the soil can depend on several factors, such as the temperature, humidity levels, and the amount of wind. Changes in these levels and the amount of water available in the soil can determine the health and differences in growth patterns between various regions. As temperature increases by 10 degrees Celsius, the rate of evaporation of water vapor from the plant doubles. This means that the rate of transpiration increases. Areas with higher levels of humidity will have plants that undergo lower levels of transpiration due to the high amount of moisture already within the air. In windy regions, water vapor from the humidity or from transpiration is blown away from the plant, increasing the rate of evaporation. Areas with less wind will have an increased humidity around the plant. This results in slower levels of transpiration compared to those in windy regions.